Hello, sir. How are you today?
Hey, Megan, doing good. How are you? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations. First episodes of season three out. How are you feeling?
Um, I'm in LA. I see the billboards. I'm like, okay. I'm just embarrassed. I don't know. It's cool. It's a good feeling.
It is a great, it should feel good. You guys, every season you have found a way to top yourselves. And the first three, phenomenal. Answered questions that we had from season two while also asking a lot of new questions from the fans. You got us thinking. So kind of lay out where you were when you first got the scripts for season three. How did you feel, especially with Simon's trajectory? He's in a new, interesting place this
Mm.
year. So how are you feeling?
I mean, when I read the finale cliffhanger of that last season, I thought, what now? Did someone snatch his body? Is he dead? What is the actual limbo? Someone needs to explain. And now that we're settling and we understand, okay, no one snatched his body. He hasn't been murdered. He's just stuck, okay? Also, why is he stuck and how does he get out? It's pretty, he can't do it alone. I think the coolest obstacle that he has to face is um, who are his coworkers essentially? Like you got a job to do. Who's that Charlie guy? And who's
Yeah.
this Rhonda crossing her arms, eating a lollipop? Who are these people? And do you even want their help, or are you gonna fall in love with them and just want to stay there? So it
Yeah.
was very interesting. I didn't know where they were gonna go with it. I just know that Simon's in trouble, and it's time for Maddie to save him.
It's kind of also a new dynamic for him. He's alone, as you said. There's no one he really knows. I mean, obviously Wally's in the picture, but he's kind of off alone this season. So for you, from an actor perspective, how was that? Because you're used to being around, Peyton
Mm.
all the time. They're there, she's there. Now it's really just
Yeah.
you.
Well, I felt like I booked a new job. It was pretty unfamiliar. I mean, there's thing called a green room on set, which is where all the actors wait. And it's just me and this damn wide-eyed villain the whole time. This guy, whoever's creeping underneath the church, he's is awesome. I just felt like, what is this? Where is this going? But we were in good hands because the arc that is the mystery of what's underneath the school is pretty rewarding. It's chilling, but it's tragic, and it's evil, but it's also like I get it. There's a lot going on.
So let's talk about the end of episode three. We're left with quite the cliffhanger, and I'm sure you can't give too much away, but what can you at least tease for fans to come this season?
Mm. I could say that every ghost has their story. We should expect the same for these unknown creatures underneath. They're here for potentially triple or quadruple the time as the other ghosts. These are old, archaic life forms. We don't really understand them. What's their story? I could tease that this season is going to be exploring, I guess, the stories that were never allowed to be said on that campus. It was sort of the hidden lore that you don't say it out loud. No one really knows. You don't go underneath the hole. That's the rule. Mr. Martin knows you don't go underneath the hole. What do Wally and Simon do? They go underneath the hole. But hey, we need a season three. They gotta go under the hole.
But I think that's what I love so much about, hopefully exploring more of the Wally Simon dynamic is, the two of them are always like, obviously Maddie was in the middle. And now she's been taken out of the equation. Not, you know, she's still there, but physically
Yeah.
she's not there. So now it's the two of them. And so can you talk a little bit how we're going to explore your guys' dynamics? I feel like the two of you are just like almost like a buddy cop film, but just like pushing each other, be like, you go down the hole. You're doing
It is that way. It's almost like they have no time to actually like argue. They're in this very I think it's equivalent to like being in the middle of warfare with a soldier who's fighting this war for a different reason, and you are too, but you both have to get onto the other side of the line, and you just inevitably trust them. He needs his help. So I think the Wally and Simon dynamic is just, it's absurdly hilarious, but it's also kind of comforting to see like what two brave people can do together because they kind of instantly rely on each other. And I like that when people are kind of forced and, it's the mission's thrust onto them. They don't have a choice. It makes for some good moments.
Do you think the exploration of their relationship is going to change Simon's relationship with Maddie at all?
Of course. Yeah, the answer is of course. Because when he first gets into the afterlife, his guards are up. He doesn't understand why does she actually prefer to be dead? Who are these guys, you know? Um, but then he sees that what they really are actually are a bunch of eccentric, weird people who collaborate with each other. And he sees, oh wow, they actually have more heart than I thought. He even offends them, he says like I don't belong here. And none of them belong here. And his first introduction to that was the selflessness of Janet entering that door. So I would say that there's a part of him that is so impressed by the new friends that she's made. It might even make him go, well, I get it. And you're, yeah.
So take me back to the very beginning, how Simon's journey over these couple of seasons has grown. Has there been anything that has surprised you about it that you didn't see coming?
Hmm. Well, hmm. Sorry, I'm just thinking about there's a lot of things that go for 3 seasons. I
Yeah,
guess
he's
the
grown a
one,
lot.
yeah, he has, and the stakes just completely 180'd for him. I'd say like what surprised me that Simon has to go through. So I just want to answer this question genuinely, Megan.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess mm, like he starts off the show like with just an inkling to his teacher, and he says to Miss Fields and the pilot, "There's something wrong, and I don't know why." And she goes, "Eh?" He goes, "She's my friend isn't just missing. I think she's in danger." I think why that resonates with a lot of people is because we kind of need those best friends to fight for us when we don't have a voice. We rely on people to speak up and care more than the usual threshold. And I guess what surprised me is that never really went away. That his sort of like relentlessness. I always think about the moment where he hears some sound in the forest and he just runs to it.
Hmm.
And as an actor, this was important because you understand him more. He doesn't think about his loyalty. It's just pretty loyal. And now it kind of surprised me that he has no chance to be loyal anymore. He's got to fight for his own survival. So I guess that kind of was a surprise because it could get old playing the
Hmm.
selfless, sacrificial knight, you know?
But you're seeing his loyalty, I think, in a different way. I mean, you said it right there
Yeah.
when he heard the noise and he makes a run for it. Well, they went into the hole, you know?
hmm
Sacrifice, they were like,
hmm
we're gonna do it because even though she's not here, everything's changed, the loyalty is still there. And they've got to figure out what's in the hole. We got to figure this out. We got to figure out how this all plays into it. And you guys do it phenomenally. So,
Uh,
to sum up this season, one word, what would it be?
story time. Story time. There are some things that these guys need to know. You think they're just because they're so old they know they don't. Here's what fans should look forward to. You got Mr. Martin, who is this like very scientifically minded, cerebral person. Why is he afraid of what's underneath? You got the big bad wolf scared. I'd say it's time for story time, and the stories are uncomfortable. I mean, things are gonna come out. It's like a crazy therapy session.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of the season. The first three episodes were amazing, set up beautifully for what is to come. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I am, as I said, super excited for everyone to see the rest of the season, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Megan.